agree. Um, we as Black people do need to marry more and to stay together. I think that will help increase our generational wealth and rebuild, Black family and our economy as Black people.
Okay.
Where I slightly disagree, I get the point you were making, but when it comes to Gabby, no shade to her. She seems like a beautiful woman, but her options probably weren't as abundant as she wanted as a 35 plus overweight woman. So I think people were happy for her because they were genuinely happy for her. It's like, okay, she probably doesn't have that many options, and in her eyes, it may not be a Mary down just because it's financially. For her, it just may be truly love. And then with Serena Williams, I mean, she's a multimillionaire marrying another multimillionaire. So,
no, man, let me stop you right here. Okay. She did marry down, and it's a matter of math and logic. It's not open for negotiation. Gabby is 8 million. He's not. That's down.
Completely agree.
Okay, but you're saying it as though it's not down. And Serena Williams, hold on, and Serena Williams saying she's a multimillionaire marrying another multimillionaire is more of this Black female shell game. And it would not work if it was a Black man on the other end of these choices. The judgments would be different.
I think if Gabby married a Black man that had similar stature, financial means, or whatever, the gentleman that she's with now, people would genuinely be happy for her because she's just getting married in general. And I guess
Gabrielle Sidibe is also not a victim. Man,
completely, yeah.
She is 37 years old, but she has the means to lose the weight if she wanted to. She's already had, I think she's had at least one procedure to address the weight. Her weight is her responsibility. So
I completely agree.
So I get, so ultimately saying that she didn't have many options, she has the option she's afforded herself because of the discipline she's put into her life. But are you honestly trying to tell me that you don't think any Black men were trying to approach Gabrielle Sidibe? Maybe they did. This woman's from Brooklyn.
Yeah, I was like, maybe this
woman's from Brooklyn. This woman's from Brooklyn. Now, this is where the conversation could go either way. What part of the country do you live in?
In the South.
What state?
Texas.
There are women the size of Gabrielle Sidibe who have men in Texas.
Absolutely.
So, let's not act as we just saying that Gabrielle Sidibe is a victim that no one really was checking for, and so everybody's happy that it's because she has a white man. It's not because he's a man.
I guess that's where we differ. I think honestly, if she married anyone, whomever her partner would have been, people would have been happy for her.
But the way you try to frame this is she's a victim of her weight and her all this other stuff, and she didn't have a lot of options, and that's not true, because in Texas you can see women of her skin tone and her size who have relationships, who have children. Women of her size and skin tone don't have a problem finding men, Black men in particular. You see that where you live.
And when they marry down or up, people were happy for them regardless.
Okay, now this is where you honestly how old are you?
I'm 27.
27. Mm-hmm. So, you're trying to get me to believe that when a Black woman, a millionaire Black woman, marries just an average Black man, Black women celebrate it?
Or happy for them initially, like Mary J. Blige initially before her husband came out as this, bad guy. People were happy for her. They were like,
no, they weren't. No, they were not. No, they were not. People would talk about, you could do better, girl.
mean, of course, you're gonna have those few outliers, but I feel like people were like,
but hold on, no, they're not outliers, ma'am. Mary J. Blige is my contemporary. Okay, who is this in the Mary J. Blige is my contemporary. I'm sorry, man. When Mary J. Blige announced that she was engaged, black women made their opinions known about her being able to do better. Now, maybe you don't know because you're 27, but I remember when it came out. And all I'm saying is, even in our conversation, go back and listen to how you talked about it. You know, Gabrielle is a certain age, she looks a certain way, and her options aren't that high. And I'm sorry, in Texas, women of her size and her skin tone have relationships and children. They don't, it's not like no one. So this whole thing that she had to pick who I was checking for her is just an outright falsehood. I don't want to call it a lie. It's just a falsehood. It's not true. And she did marry, and then she did go with somebody that's less than her. It's down. She's a millionaire and he's not. So, but I want to be clear. I know what I think, but what you're saying, just to be clear, that a black woman, if Serena that when a black woman chooses down, people are happy for them. When they choose a black man who's beneath them, they're happy for him.
I think I'm saying when people choose love, people are happy for them.
Well, see, that's the problem. When the black man's on the other side, it's never assumed to be love. When Mary J. chose her husband, they didn't give him the benefit of love. They gave him the benefit of wanting her money. When it's a non-black man, then love comes into it. Thank you for proving my point, though. I don't think that you mean wrong, but ma'am, when a black man has less than a black woman, it's assumed that he's in there for something else. When a non-black man is there, all of a sudden, this is when the Disney movie comes out.
Hello?
I'm here.
I don't agree with that. I think that you will always have those people that criticize it and, are against it. But
okay,
for the vast majority of people, I think people were just genuinely happy that she found love.
Okay. And so if that's the case, so how about this, ma'am? So let's go with what you're saying. So let's say what you're saying is true. People will be happy for black women who just find love. Then why aren't more black women who are supposed to be the most educated, college degrees, earning so much? Why aren't they just going to why won't they settle or choose a blue collar black man or a black man who earns less than they do for love's sake?
Okay, so that's different. So I was saying, I think the outside people, you're talking about the comments, were happy for Gabby, but the actual people themselves, the women, that's their choice if they want to.
No. Say again. The comment.
Yeah, like the audience, the people were commenting and they were happy for Gabby, is what I'm saying. But the women themselves, that's their choice. Maybe those women don't.
No. What I'm saying with Gabrielle Sidibe, black women were happy for her because she had a white guy. But when Mary J. Blige announced she was marrying a black man who was less than her, black women were saying, "Watch out, girl, get a prenup, girl." There was not the outpouring of love and affection. There was a lot of vitriol. And what I'm saying is when it's a black man who has less than a black woman, it's always looked at with the side eye. But when a black woman has more than a non-black man, it's always love. Ma'am, that's not history. You can go back and you can't go back. There's no texting available, text records. But when Mary J. was with her man, he got a lot of heat. So my next question is, then black women should have no problem getting with a black man who has less than her for love. Did you go to college?
I did. And I was saying that it's not, okay, in this regard, it's not the audience that we're worried about being happy. It's now we're talking about the actual woman. And then that's solely on the woman's choice if she chooses to marry down.
The thing is, if women are, but the thing is, man, I'm not worried about, what I'm saying is if the audience was truly happy, the audience is made up of individuals, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then individual black women should, if they have more, they should still be just as happy to find love if a black man has less than her?
If that's what they want in the man. Not all women want to marry down. Some women want to marry down.
See what you just did? First we talked about love. Now you're talking about marrying down. Which is it? Stop. Okay. Stop. No, stop. You're not going to play the verbal hopscotch with me. Look, man, you said love and then marrying down. See, when it's a black man, it's marrying down. When it's a white man, it's love.
No, I'm saying on an individual basis now. If my friends were to marry down, I would be happy for them in that regard. But that doesn't mean that I want to marry down or I marry down.
But hold on. What's more important? Okay. Should black women marry for love or should women marry for resources?
A combination of both.
No. What's primary?
Guess it depends on the person.
No, what's primary? Don't play with me. Put them in order, please. In general, don't play the it depends gray game. I don't do that.
Well, it does depend on person. For me, it would be resources, then love.
I said in general. Okay. I said black women. I didn't say you.
So then in general, I don't know. I guess the average woman would marry for love.
Okay, so in general, black women should marry for resources. How old are you?
27.
Right. So are you prepared to marry a 45-year-old?
No.
Well, then you don't want to marry for resources.
True, but it depends on the resources.
No, true. That's it. Because the resources come with a man when he's 45 to 65 is a man's financial peak. And not at 27. So if you want resources, you want to play the resource game, you best be prepared to go get a 40-plus-year-old man.
If that's what I choose to marry for, then that's what I would look for. But that's not.
See, what I'm showing you guys in the audience is when a black man's on the other side of the equation, it becomes all these different things that have to happen. But when it's a non-black man, it can be just as simple as love. When it's a black man, it has to be a combination of love and resources. Or at least resources first. And then it has to be resources from a man of a certain age. See, I know what I'm talking about. And I said this at the beginning of the broadcast. Black men have to be perfect, and it still ain't enough. So, ma'am, yes. I'm using you to prove my point.
Okay.
If black women wanted to do like everyone else, they would go marry for love and they would build together with the resources. But far too often, black women are like yourself. You want resources first, but then you want them from a man that you're attracted to and age appropriate. And it doesn't work that way for black women in general. It only works that way for the top 10% of black women at best. You have to look good enough. Your body has to be good enough to make those kind of demands. That's where I'm going with this.
Okay.
So you're 27. Are you? Yes. You're 27, and you're an attractive woman. Do you plan on getting married anytime soon?
I'm actually getting a divorce. So yeah, hopefully one day again.
You're getting a divorce? Mm-hmm. Why?
Because my husband is 27, 6'6", and has resources, and a lot of women like that.
I asked you why you're getting divorced, and you said because your husband's tall and your age?
No, I'm saying because he's financially stable, and he had lots of options and explored those options.
Okay. Could you just make it a straight answer? Because I'm not understanding.
Infidelity.
How often did you cheat?
I didn't cheat. He did.
Well, ma'am, I hate to break this to you. But at 27, 6'6", you do realize that men who have resources and options, that's going to be with any man that has resources. We have options. See, again, do you want strict monogamy too?
Well, that's what he wanted when he asked me to marry him.
Well, so we can get, we have the resources. We can get strict monogamy from you. When you have the resources, then you can set the terms. Let's get real. He out earns you, right?
Yes.
Right. So women like that. So now you think it's better to divorce him and leave the resources behind. And this is why I believe we should go back to fault divorce and no child support, no alimony. So women like this, when they decide to leave, they can leave with what they came with and not get payments for vagina that I can't access. See, in a pre-1960s world, you could have left your husband, but you could not be getting payments from him. Because
we married in Texas. I won't get payments from him regardless.
Spousal support need children?
No.
What?
No.
Okay.
Not in Texas. You don't get spousal support.
Okay. So, no, but they have community spousal support, but they have communal property, things like that. You're not walking away. You're not walking away with what you came with. I mean, I lived in Texas for 12 years and I was married in Texas. So let's be honest. You're not walking with what you came with. Right?
Correct.
Right. And who purchased the bulk of what you're walking with?
It was shared.
It was shared.
Yeah.
Okay. Shared what percentage?
60-40.
Okay. 60-40. So is he an athlete?
Not professionally, collegiately.
Right. 60-40. So and I'm being serious, ma'am. At 27, infidelity. And I don't expect women to like infidelity. I don't. I really don't. But I expect black women to understand that white women, Hispanic women, Asian women, Middle Eastern women put up with infidelity because they expect men with resources and means to have other women. They know that, so it happens. They accept it. Black women, if you want men at those levels, you need to get on board with women at these levels. They will tell you. A lot of these women know their other the women that the men cheat with. As long as he's not bringing home any diseases, outside children, or scandals. As long as he's not embarrassing you in public. That should be, I'm gonna be dead honest. That's the affluent, high value way it goes. You have to make an agreement about these things up front, and you may have something on the side too. Happens all the time because I see a 27-year-old woman who's going to get back out on the dating market, and how long were you guys together?
6 years.
Okay, so 6 years. You're going to have a lot to detox from. Do you ever want to have children?
Yes.
All right. Well, based on what I'm hearing, ma'am, has he apologized for his infidelity? Okay. Is he still doing it?
I don't know. We're not in the same home.
Oh, I'm gonna tell you what somebody should have told you. You might want to check. You might want to think several times before going to file this divorce, because it may sound like it's a good idea right now, but at 27, you're not the 21-year-old you were. You're another danger zone black woman out here. And it takes time to get through the issues you have. All I'm saying, ma'am, is marriages are messy. People are messy. People make mistakes. People make errors. But unless you already have somebody else you're seeing, I don't know. I'll leave it alone. Did he make any babies while he was out there?
Not to my knowledge.
All right. And he apologized. And you didn't want to forgive him?
Yes, I did forgive him, but I don't trust him anymore. So no, I didn't want to continue with the relationship if I don't trust him.
All right. Well, I'm going to say it anyway, ma'am. You could be making a mistake, because getting back here out in the dating market, have you, I don't know if I want to ask you that. I don't know if you've actually gone out on a date, but the dating market is far worse than what you have already. So let me disabuse you of the fact that you're gonna find people out here, especially the kind of men you're used to, have rotations. And aren't really down with committing to older women. And I hate to hear divorces for infidelity. Again, not trying to get you to saying you might want to think several times about it, because black folks, we walk away from our marriages. And if you watch this broadcast, divorces are down, marriages are up. And if you have a man that you've been with for years who apologized and you say you can't trust him, I would exhaust all options, therapy, reconciliation, because I'm going to be honest, ma'am, you don't want to be back out here thinking you're going to possibly find a better deal, because you still got to do some healing. And you might as well do, and all things being equal, I'm going to just be pragmatic like a father would be. You might as well heal with your husband than to heal while you're bouncing between Tom, Dick, Harry, trying to date out here, trying to figure out what this is going on, and then wishing you just stayed in your marriage. Take some time, think about it, pray about it, meditate on it. Ask, is there anything that he can do to regain my trust? And before you go through that process and get back out here, because as a guy who's divorced, I'm telling you, a 27-year-old woman out in Texas, you're outnumbered. But thank you for being honest. It shows that a lot of character that you can at least be honest about it.